You know the life you are supposed to want. Crowded rooms, new places, constant movement, and visible achievements. So why, when one plan disappears from the calendar, does relief arrive before disappointment? You wake to a silent phone, reach toward it, then let your hand fall back. Breakfast is familiar. The same food, the same cup, and no decision waiting to be made. You take the road you know, where every turn arrives before you need to think. Sitting alone on a quiet bench does not feel lonely. It feels like your whole body can finally unclench. Then comes an uncomfortable thought. Why does this ordinary life feel so good? Everyone else seems to be climbing, while you remain below, wondering whether you have stopped growing. So, you put this desire inside a gray box and give it a suspicious name, boredom. Yet, two lives can look equally quiet from outside and feel completely different within. Because an experience is never only the experience. It includes everything required to reach it. Even an exciting reward may pull time, decisions, travel, messages, and preparation behind it. We are shown what a good life should contain: trips, parties, milestones, promotions, and smiling friends. Missing are the ordinary frames, chores, delays, commuting, recovery, and hours worth living but not posting. A quiet evening can therefore feel invalid, as if it does not deserve a frame. From a distance, the concert ticket still shines. You may truly want what it promises. But move closer, and one reward branches into a dozen small demands. What will you wear? And which version of yourself must enter the room? Which route, how late, and what happens if the easiest way closes? Before leaving, you may even feel required to sound excited enough in the group chat. Then you must switch from your quiet self into the social version the situation expects. Someone can be fully dressed, holding the keys, and still feel unable to cross the door. The first action no longer feels like one action. It contains every step waiting behind it. You want the person at the destination, but dread the road between you. Meanwhile, other lives enter through a narrow window, their brightest moments reflected into your attention. When highlights cover the wall, constant excitement begins to look like normal life. Chores, waiting, fatigue, empty rooms, and sleep were simply cut from everyone else's reel. After comparing, your own warm evening suddenly looks like evidence that you are falling behind. Rest becomes a trial where you must prove it is not waste. One side demands productivity. The other demands that you appear interesting. This is why two identical evenings on the same sofa can feel completely different. In the first, you choose home. Put the phone away and open a book. The door remains open. You know you could leave, and the choice belongs to you. The quiet feels protected because you created a boundary, not because the world vanished. In the second, a cancellation, delay, or storm removes that choice. The room has not changed, yet the same sofa begins to feel like a cage. The activity is identical. The difference is whether the stillness was chosen or imposed. This is perceived control, not controlling everything, but feeling your actions can still affect what comes next. You cannot stop the rain, but you can open an umbrella or change your route. You cannot prevent every request, but you can decide what reaches you now. A vague plan contains too many futures. When, where, with whom, and under what conditions. Until those questions close, your mind keeps checking every possible door. Soon, life resembles half-open drawers: an email, a bill, an appointment, a message, a choice. Routine helps by quietly closing some drawers before they demand another decision. A familiar wake-up time, breakfast, and route are three questions already answered. That does not shrink life. It releases attention for choices that matter. Routine can protect a free inner space for curiosity, creativity, and connection. It also means you need not react to everything placed in your hands. The familiar road is calming because your mind no longer has to solve a maze. But mental weight rarely starts dramatically. It starts with one small, unfinished thing. Nothing looks like a crisis. Another small piece simply enters the bag. An unanswered email does not seem heavy enough to explain how you feel. Neither does one bill waiting to be handled. or an appointment that needs rearranging, or a promise you still intend to keep. Separately, each one barely moves the scale. Together, they become weight. You notice only when something else asks you to move. Then a friend offers an invitation while your hands and attention are already full. Before seeing the conversation, your mind displays the entire corridor required to reach it. The invitation hardens from a reward into one more obligation. That does not mean the friend matters less. The warmth may be completely real. You may want that quiet conversation more than anything else that week. Still, the chain can fail at its smallest beginning. Choosing a shoe, taking one step. You want the destination. What you cannot face is the bridge. When the plan is canceled, the whole chain of preparation disappears. Relief comes because the burden is gone. Regret remains because the person was never the burden. Another pressure may be following you through all of this, an invisible audience. You reach a beautiful view, then experience it through the screen, meant to prove you were there. During a conversation, part of you asks whether the moment looks special enough from outside. Even rest becomes performance. Recover efficiently, improve yourself, and prove the evening was useful. A blank hour appears. An exercise, reading, cleaning, learning, and personal projects rush to fill it. Soon meditation has a timer, graph, streak, score, and camera checking whether you are relaxing correctly. Reading, tea, and walking begin to feel as if they need photographic proof of value. No wonder a boring life seems attractive. It resembles backstage, where the applause finally fades. There, you can remove the smiling mask and let your face and shoulders return to normal. You can make something small without turning it into a product, ranking, or proof of talent. You can watch a sunset and let it end without making it content. You can feel quietly okay without performing a more convincing version of happiness. You can live an ordinary day without presenting every hour for inspection. But removing pressure reveals an important limit. Silence alone does not automatically become peace. Give Milo an empty day, and he may still move restlessly as light crosses the room. He opens one app, scrolls, closes it, then opens another, searching for something that will hold him. Books, television, art, music, and a walk are available. Yet, none holds him long enough to begin. This is the distinction. Peace and boredom may both look quiet, but they are not the same. Two equally empty days can differ. One restores you, the other leaves you pacing between unfinished choices. In the first, a small activity matters, repairing an old radio tied to a memory. It asks enough to hold Milo's attention, but not enough to overwhelm him. His attention settles, and afternoon becomes evening without another check of the clock or phone. The room is quiet, yet full of connection to the object, memory, work, and place around him. In the second, time and options are abundant, but attention cannot remain anywhere long enough to begin. A movie plays, pauses, skips forward, then disappears before its story can take hold. A book is open, yet the same line is read repeatedly without entering the mind. Milo circles the room, searching not for a task, but for the feeling of being drawn into one. One psychological model describes boredom this way: wanting to engage, but failing to connect attention with what is available. Sometimes the task demands too little. Your hands continue while your attention leaves. Sometimes it demands too much. Every signal competes, and no workable starting point appears. Both extremes break engagement. Attention holds better when challenge matches your present resources. Engagement also needs meaning. Completed tasks feel empty when disconnected from what you value. So someone can work, exercise, study, and socialize all day and remain bored inside it. Yet, a rainy evening can feel alive through a plant, a repaired radio, and one real conversation. The difference is not the event count. It is whether your attention and values connect to them. The goal is not an empty life, but enough space to choose and experience what remains. Instead of asking, "Why do I want less life?" Milo can erase the judgment. A more precise question is, what needs to become quieter? Maybe not your relationships, only the rule that every notification may interrupt immediately. Maybe the plan needs a clear time, place, and route. So, uncertainty stops occupying your mind. Maybe some activities exist mainly to make your life look interesting to an imagined observer. And sometimes you are simply carrying too much and genuinely need to put the bag down. Milo can sort the week into three groups: meaning, image, and uncertainty. Meaning contains what he wants to keep: a close friend, creative work, and time in nature. Image contains experiences that lose their appeal when the observing eye finally closes. Uncertainty may hide something valuable beneath preparation, so heavy that the connection itself disappears. The choice need not be all or nothing. A distant event can become 30 minutes at a nearby cafe. The aim is to separate the living connection from the pressure tangled around it. The familiar morning returns, still containing the radio, paintings, plants, and a few meaningful plans. Life keeps moving. Work, traffic, weather, and responsibilities do not disappear because Milo found a steadier pace. He simply stops filling the final blank automatically. He is allowed to protect it. That space lets him be present for the friend, the art, and the path he deliberately chose. Milo never wanted nothing to happen. He wanted to stop proving that his life was worth living. If part of your life became quieter, what pressure would you remove without losing the connection beneath it?